win it. Right, yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, it's enough, yeah.
He's the one calling again.
No, it was whatever you guys decided.
Yeah, it was brought up before the game. So no, you
Ponle.
said chop. You said chop.
Chop is just a free round. You don't have to pay.
We'll go with that.
Okay.
¿Quién tiene que poner, no? Si hizo chop, si hizo chop, un round
I
grab.
think I should just put it.
Ponlo.
Hey, Pete, I should just put it just so it won't be no.
Sí, ponlo. We'll just put it.
Just so that
$5
won't be.
either way.
Yeah, son 5 bolas. We're not gonna argue. Yeah, yeah.
If it's 25.
Sí,
Yeah, we were doing it 20.
you gotta win it straight up. That's it.
No, but since there was a split, para que no haya,
Sí.
para que no haya, whatever don't be misconfusion.
Miscommunication.
So say you run it twice, it's only the first word. We gotta agree on that too, right?
Yeah, that's a good.
That's a
If
good
you run
first
it twice,
move.
only the first word.
Yeah. Yeah, that's in there. Yeah, if it gets big, that's yeah.
We're learning as we're going. No, y luego dije, la puedo traer las 10, nomás no, eso no me gusta, no me la puedo traer.
You asked me where the bus is at. Good race. 90-20. No, you voted in for them, so come on. I'll believe you this time. I mean, it's on video this time.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. It's 20, sir. Please. That's sick to think I was white. 59. White. Yeah, man. Five goals.
I thought I was getting white myself, but I didn't.
59. I ain't got it.
Sí, sí.
59?
Yeah. Yeah.
Televisión, sí.
I mean, I'm sorry, 5
What could you done there? Came to see. You came to see that.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, regardless of the flush.
Yeah, it was $100.
It's complicated. I understand what you're saying. I could have split. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I've been 20 on diamonds or something, yeah.
Seven checks, 9 checks.
Yeah, that way it's 2 minutes.
Making sure I don't want to get
I think we're both good.
Take it for the $5.
I think we're on it enough. Hey, you know, we may be.
Sorry, boy, let's try.
We may want to take it. You gotta swing all the time. But we're not gonna kill each other.
Barrels, table 9.
I heard you. I didn't think you were talking to you. I thought you were talking to him.
Neto, ya. Ah, bueno, dale. don't know, $60. This makes it 20 and 40 for 20.
I'll rip with anywhere.
We saw that.
No, we don't believe you. I know.
Yeah, you already won the dog.
It's like it's in red, you know, it's like it's imprinted on my brain.
Just said that.
I know, yeah.
And then he's like, it's 25K.
There you go. It's not just one. They don't know how much is in there.
Yeah, when you look at it, you take it. But what's over?
So those ones are not the only ones that fucking in it.
We all are.
Yeah, well, we play poker, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all down. Yeah, you make money. Where you shot? Look at that. Yeah, so we're poker. We win one hand, three shots.
You know, I made like a fake button for birdie today.
You did?
Yeah, but I hit it wrong, but I hit it wrong. So the right worked out. The ball's
Show the quads, show the quads.
like, I see what you're doing wrong. I see what you're doing, and I was like, this is wrong. What am I doing?
Try to get something started over here, Cotton.
I know, it's been so boring, right?
Trying to get a buyer, trying to get a buyer. Oh, you love me like that. Welcome to the valley, baby.
Hey, y mocos.
Yeah, what's that? What? That's what we want to find out.
The first dummy is the dummy that forgets something. Or like it's the first time. You're already cashing out? Damn. Hitters are not. What? Nobody does that around here. What are you doing?
Limping in.
That's the first tip I've seen.
Makes it 45.
Give me full inch.
I start. That's how you should have do it. See? From limping in to there. Two bluffs in a row. Bluffs, okay. 11 in a row.
No, that's good. Good. I had king deuce.
Literally, I'm out, yo.
I have $130. Good luck making me pull the pair on that board.
I need a menu too. A menu? Yeah, no worries. So the low blank only win the
I thought about it earlier. Like, yeah.
I have to fix this second.
Oh my god, I can't believe I got away with this.
I was gonna say, why are you looking at your cards? You know you're gonna fix.
I can't believe I got
How
away
many
with
was
this.
on? 6?
6 players, yes sir. No, I heard. 7's all in.
What a punt.
You say all in?
What a punt. Yeah,
Say all in.
Trophy rapidly folds as well.
Yo, King, right?
Good.
Actions on 5.
Move that trash out a little bit.
3 next.
Yeah.
Yo, King, right?
We shoot it too.
I took mine too. Heads up.
Yeah, my phone is. Yeah, man.
See?
You would have got me too, though.
I don't really like to discuss it before the hands up.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I don't like to show.
Me don't do.
I don't like to talk. And I don't. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, baby. Put a leg down.
Shit, I had 5, 6 of spades. He had ace for a spade. We all had spades.
How the fuck? You want an ace?
Yeah.
And it's still in.
Oh, here's that shit. That's what I was.
There's three, yeah. That's if they didn't have one. I would have got that's the last one in this game.
I thought about it.
4? Think about it, it's only 13.
I put a piece on mine. I had 5, 6.
I would have called him.
I thought I was getting away with it. Oh, yeah. The pot's so big. If they had anything, they should have that. And then I say, oh, I can't make a pair, and then just rip it. So I'm reloading for 3. 3 more. Red.
Yeah, I got it.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'll take another.
You know it's bad luck to be superstitious.
Exactly. You just wrap
I don't
up.
like to show my cards. Say that I have this, what I have.
Yeah, right.
And I stay at my house and
That was such a
my
fucking.
mom saw me play bingo.
I thought I was getting away with it.
I had you dominated, right?
I have a rack right over there. I said, I have a rack right
When
over
he said I don't have a king, I was like, alright, he has spades. I'm still alive.
What do you have, man? You know my answer.
I had 6 high, bro.
Trying to steal.
I thought I was getting away with
And
it.
he didn't call. He was gonna call you, and then I was gonna call you. And he's kind of
there. 2 kings out there.
What's up?
Oh, the first one, yeah.
Pero once he did that, I'm like, no, I think next pay you va a pagar. That's what I'm saying. Damn, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Such a fucking
$10 struggle. So you had no chance of winning the hand, man.
Oh, actually, yes. There was only 1 spade left. I could hit a 6.
3, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I could have a 6. I could hit a 6 to win the hand.
Yeah.
5 folds. 6 makes it 40.
I wasn't dead.
I know you were not that well.
Spin. 7 calls.
As soon as he said that, he doesn't have a king.
8 calls. 1 fold. 1 fold. 2 folds.
Now it's easier. We're at 50.
How much?
que no. Bro. And these guys with spades también.
Yeah, if those are 100, it's 850. Well, the one's playing actually quit. The one's playing 700.
Yeah.
That's me. Look at 851. 851.
675.
Makes sense. I just need to break down one of these. I know it's 150.
Yeah, I see.
¿Cómo lo vi? Sí, güey. Can you bring it out? Take a picture.
Hey, check this one out. Yes. It's from Las Colinas, the other location.
This one's cool.
Over there in Dallas.
CCA Social.
Yeah.
So we swing? This one's cool.
The dollar chip over there.
Yeah. It's a cool colorway.
Yeah, it's not Dallas, it's the other one. It's
Esta está bien fea.
Las Colinas, yeah.
Esta está bien fea, güey. Pete, this one's ugly, güey. It's heavy, though.
It's a lot. We got a restaurant, they got a bar, they got like 40 tables.
Oh, it's another.
It's probably 20 running
It's
right
a
now.
whole vibe. Yeah. How long is it?
I want to say, I want to say a little bit less than a year, maybe.
Oh, it's been open that long.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
When they open it,
When they opened up, they took a couple players from the first one. So like their main competition was, yeah. Now they put the original one back up to, they're getting like
Action, baby.
Yes, sir.
all the side pots, does anybody have a picture? But we can run it twice. Complicated with all the side pots. Yeah, that's like so.
Everybody's down for twice? Let me get your side pot off.
I'm good with it if everybody else is.
We're not listening. One time.
Oh, yeah. That's fine. I forgot about
With all the
it.
side pots.
Pregúntenle al jefe.
I usually don't do it, and that's just, there's two other people in the audience, so that's why I'm talking.
First, side pots.
Hey. Finally.
Barrels, table 9. Okay, now, here.
I was also invested in the pot. It was 3-1 for $2,000.
The pot on Sergio, man.
This is chaos, the side pot.
I mean, so it was an $850 call. He only had 300. He was the biggest stack. So it was 550 heads up. So I mean, it was about $200.
the game, sir. Yeah.
Now the only fucking issue is that I'm deep and I like to fucking smash when I'm hitting.
No, you know.
I know I'm losing behind
But that was just like fucking that was so annoying. You saw me buy the chips before I even involved.
Oh, yeah. If you had that much, I don't know if you would probably go.
No, fuck no, I don't follow your guy. That's what I said. I'm buying for $300 with the city.
5 folds, 6 folds, 7 folds. 25, yes sir. And it's live.
And what should the card do?
I think he just has them on the scanner.
It's already bet 25 before.
You already gave up. Take my money.
Hey Justin, if I go on in, can you promise to score the key game?
Not if it's suited.
Maybe a $2,000 pot. If it's suited, he'll fold it.
Yeah.
I worked somebody else this weekend when he made.
Oh, all day. Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Here we go again.
Was it 300?
Yes sir, 300.
Swear to God, I thought you were fucking lying. Lying to me. I thought you were fucking baiting me.
To come play?
Yeah, I thought you were baiting me.
You thought you were gonna be you.
No, like, I've never played with any of you guys. Alright, so I know he's flashy, I know he likes to play. But I've never played the rest of y'all, so I thought it was gonna be like a super tight game.
It is a super tight.
Yeah. You're right.
Super tight. It's super
Hey,
tight.
well, wait.
Super tiny.
In between.
Between the hands is
Yes, 3 times.
Go where?
When we head over in, we're like,
$20.
we're
$20
like,
a whole. So many heads over here.
hey, we played 10 hands. This is 10. Hand of 10.
I put the ball 25 feet away.
6 all in.
Put the ball.
60%. What do I look Bob?
25 foot.
I called you on your all in hands. I watched all three.
This is
I mean, I had ace 4 down. How many times?
Shut the fuck 10
Vanessa, 3 times.
6 all in, bro. You guys are running.
You know what he said right now?
He laughed.
You know what he said when y'all asked? He's like, why the fuck y'all playing?
I know.
Every time. Why y'all go on in?
Yeah, one time.
Come on, Bob, man.
I gotta laugh at him. It's the first time I ever saw him laugh. Got aces. Aces. What do you got?
Eh?
10-3.
Mira con quién ganó, Manny. Fair 6 on the account.
Back.
Wait, that one went on the flop.
Say that again.
Let me play una vez. Para que corra una cita, pero no tenga miedo.
Barrels, table 9.
So, hand 11, everybody. This,
Oh yeah.
hey,
Keep track of
we
it.
played 10 hands, and we've had 6 solid. Like multiple people, like,
We don't have a commentator.
we don't have a,
Live commentator. Alright, here you go, guys.
no,
I'll
Hey, you can do it. I can do it right here, right here.
Right here.
No, tell him to give me, tell him. I know. Hey, thank you. Hey, I have Grande one. Hey, these guys are nuts. Nuts? I can tell this is a good takeaway.
Something new, something new.
It's money. Team 7 thought it was going to be a boring game. Camarada over here. Mil máscaras. I'm looking at it, man. Cien. Oh, I didn't know that was a stand up right here. Alright, Pete. Pete number 9. Watch out for him. Con la de la parca. He's the super fish. He's a big fish. He's a big fish. ¿Quién es?
Yes, sir.
Check. Oh, sorry. Check, doc, check. 55.
Ya ves. Pero mira lo que está cayendo también. ¿Te fijas esto? Yes.
They're not giving me that. That's all I care about is not being dealt.
Tell me about it.
If you can keep me building at school, don't you just that I'm trying to put more money in there?
Yeah. Second best.
They told me after he was dealing, after he was dealing.
Two bets.
Hold on a second. Let me look for my two pair. Listen, let me look for my two pair. This time I expect I won't get punched.
Thank you, sir. Good luck, everybody. As you did it. You all raised in his hand? All right, nobody raised.
Yeah, 45.
That's my fault. I have fucking 5'9".
Juan Blanco. Y si gana, I know. No, but
Let me check my account. I'll get back to you.
Okay.
I don't think I got it.
I'll be waiting.
Let's start driving action. No. We got it backwards. We got it backwards.
Alright, I'm not playing poker. I'm just trying to what's the point?
Angel. Angel.
más que no puede ganar. Si tienes una saben que no
What about my appearance? I should have gotten my fucking appearance fee for that one.
that other game sheet.
These?
All the players that have donated.
These? Bro, that's the first ace I've seen the whole time. It's the first hand for
The whole time, because I've been playing 8 hands.
I know, 10 hands.
No, but I'm
Good point though.
I'm a lot more active this
Is that the right count? Is that how many hands we played?
Well, when he won that hand,
How many times has it gone around?
I'm a lot more active with that.
so 75 bucks.
Yeah?
Well, he so keep looking at that.
Nothing together, nothing together, nothing together.
That's an option on there.
Everybody hit one with me. I mean, I was a little bit more likely than I thought I was.
Yeah. Nobody will touch it. They're on
Oh,
camera.
you want me to do something?
I'm not worried about that. The good time. You want to put it on the table?
No, it's to stop the cards from falling underneath it.
Oh, it's a small blind.
What is on me? No worries. Only poker.
Three players. Hold on, Megan.
Yes.
Like queen six.
I think six.
Please show me.
Like when he folds that hand, he gets there.
Yeah?
He's not folding king jack.
No, no. That's all you see. Techniques.
Hey, throw it back. Hey, throw it back.
Even when you throw the king twice, you can't hold it.
Talking to this player who's playing against the table, and the guy said something about like something about why it's taking so long to call, blah 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 blah. And then he says, I don't know how you play. You guys think we jack in your head? They don't know how to spell folks.
Northern Europe.
Okay, you want to take it? No, it's that.
Both. I have a hand and I want to take that.
I know.
You get in there if you want, bro. I'm ready to play. I'm stuck.
I know, that's what it. All those variables have been calculated within 30 seconds, so yeah, I know.
As long as you don't have king 8.
I don't.
I'm full.
Oh my god, such a spot. Show the bluff.
That's a good one.
thought that's why let out the queens. That's why you let out.
Yeah, you get to win only 5 minutes.
I don't want it.
Don't waste your luck on 5 minutes.
I saw baseball. That's all that was. Shit, he's going for it.
What's your name?
Colin.
Colin, I'm Luis. Nice to meet you.
What's up, man?
Yeah, we should have put it on Lady. Orderly. That's cute. Pocket 5. I thought about it. I had a 5. I had 8-5 suited. 3 players. So. Wait, no. That escalated. No, espérate. Put him off, Pete.
Red chip? Oh, like chip?
Oh, okay. You want greens or red?
And he's like red chip.
What cheese with them?
Lay's, barbecue, you know.
Cheese on them?
Chip, that was cute. That was hilarious. You're asking the right guy?
I just don't chip or
I'll take 3.
I'll get you
Let's take your 5 back. Hey, cámbialo. You didn't catch it earlier, but I'm gonna translate. This guy, even with his family, they're gambling. He won't give up his change. Don't make him go to the store. Yeah, he just said it right there.
Yeah.
Chalupa went and now he's like, hey, go get your own coin. That's what he said earlier.
Man, this takes this shit.
Hey, so don't take it personal.
Friends, family.
Oh, they're living like this. They're living with my.
Siempre ha sido así. Le hablé al primo, le digo, hey, no me están cayendo nada bien las cartas, pero las
You don't mind watching the cards like this?
I didn't think he let off fire.
for years. It's a foldable one with. No, you mean the back one? Yeah, you fold it, like trifold, green. $900 cuesta. Same hand, same one same hand.
203.
17, 18 hands, like we're at 50% all in. Tell me if that's not action. Every other hand.
Something tells me you're not on the flush.
What could possibly give you that idea? How can you be so certain of that?
That's pretty accurate. They called it accurate. Only what, 7 o'clock? 7? Yeah, when you've been here an hour?
I put it on. I called $80 on the bluff to see a heart, a three. See that 7 turn? Any heart, any 7, any 3.
You know what made me call you that Queen Jack? When he said he had Queen 6, that's all he had.
$3.
Remember he told you he had
Yeah.
Queen 6? I heard him, I was like, you can't have
I didn't say I had 2-6. I just
it.
told
Queen Jack, I thought I said
him, please show me Queen Jack.
No, you said you had to.
yeah, you did.
Yeah, after that.
Oh, yeah, after the hand was
CC after the
4 reasons to 24. 5 calls. 6 calls. 7 calls.
8 calls, 9 calls. Fucking table on that side roll.
Yeah. Table outside call. Oh. Something bad.
I'm sorry, 9 calls. 24.
Checking the smooth parking out, you're like, fuck it, there's a lot of shit.
Yeah, why not?
I was hoping something weird.
I was just bobbing at it.
Todos pagaron Ernesto.
I was hoping something really weird happened.
Was that a verbal or was that a threat? Or what is that?
What are we doing? What are the rules of engagement here?
I
Check.
same customer.
Hey, man, estamos igual.
Same customer.
I know what you mean.
Hearts ain't coming, dog. Hearts are not coming. I checked it out. You're not gonna go anywhere with it.
2 checks.
King high.
Ace of 6s.
3 pets. Canadian 4 packs.
Hey, doesn't 3 days.
Yes, not bleed. Okay, not bleed. You won, huh? You won the hand.
I have some good cards. I have for winning cards.
Justin, is that a light shot?
Good call, Andy. It is a lifestyle. They're calling you in the dealers are see.
They want the money in the middle.
That was on purpose. Fish versus fish. Hey, Collins, pocket five, please. Hey, no está jalando esta mano.
Put a green one on the button.
Good serve, boss.
It's easier to keep track.
Yes.
See it. Players.
I wanted to stack up this high. Yeah, it looks like one money.
They were putting $20.
Yeah, the other day they were good. If you guys want to do 10, I'll do 10 or
We should do that.
Cálmate, dice el bicho.
Honestly, 15 is one good for quick.
It's only been one once, and there's like nothing on there, you know? Just like,
And it went around like 15 times.
Yeah, we win.
You decide that, get you 100 before I win the final line before you.
Do a side bet on the side bet?
I mean, you don't know.
It's a
No,
double, it's a double side bet.
It's a double whammy.
It's like a double side. Double side bet.
Just bubble around.
3 players.
Jordan after this, enseguida.
Something light, I think it was a cocktail. Within an hour.
Hey, ya se tardaron. Sí, eso. No paguen. Bueno, cuando lo consumo chido.
Ernesto, no puede estar en el teléfono. Floor, table 9.
Porque estaba en la mano.
You can't be on your phone. You are has a phone. I know. Floor, table 9.
100%, pero it was la tiene que reportar, pero no.
Yeah, it's like,
But he's good, no es nada.
yeah, what?
No, we lost in translation. You know what I'm saying? No es nada. No. Sí, sí, sí. Sí, sí, por eso digo, pa. No, no, I know. Pero, we want him here, you know? Rather than not. Right, Colin, you're with me?
All in Wisconsin. All in Wisconsin.
Why not? Bro, I almost called you with my ace today. You'll see it on the, like, cracking. I'm not even, like, I can try. No. I want to, like,
You're ready.
oh,
Yeah.
reason I'm out is that the wife has me on check on these cameras. That's it. I call Primo, like, the only thing that's coming good is the beer, the fun.
For now.
For now. A ver,
One pepperoni is this way. That's what I thought.
a little bit better. A ver, fix it. Ahí está, ahí está. Right there.
Yeah.
I was gonna bust out the phone. That's better.
Are we starting at 10?
A little bit better. He didn't want to. So I don't know. Please, you want to do 10?
These kings. Doubled anybody yet? I don't know. You want to double anybody? I mean, I'm not saying I'm not going to, but it's not a desire. I don't think I've ever come in here and go, I'm going to double this person up.
Never? I do sometimes. Like, that guy looks like a very nice guy.
Heads up, Pete. You still got bubbles in here. You know?
Heads up.
Why does there put this?
What is iron?
I want everything like that. I want blood money, blood money.
How much does Pete have left if they decide to double and get my revenue?
Three players.
I should be playing every video. Reject.
Oh.
I mean, further, anybody mind if they switch to 2 games? Does anybody mind? If they switch to 2 games?
I don't care.
Because I love hockey.
Oh, I know you do.
Yeah, do it.
No, don't do that. Let him play him.
You know, Bob. We all got to agree, though. Right? We all got don't give him any advantage. Rats.
My name's not Rax.
No, don't do that. Let him play uncomfortable. I like that. Lord,
My guys are not that good. I'm going to get for God.
sit like that the whole night. Hey, man. ¿Quiere cambiarlo?
You want to swap him? Something Spanish.
Yeah. If you do that, then in Spanish.
Cano, Rio, Chango.
La televisión.
Yeah, television.
That has not happened.
All you wanted.
No, what I'm saying is like there hasn't been that many people out.
Oh, cold. Someone over here is doing it.
Okay, I think.
Did you do that? Thank you.
Miss? Plus? Come on.
I didn't notice
What do you got?
You guys are going 2 times? Yeah. We're going 20.
You got okay.
Jackie's Jack.
Jack Green.
You have ace queen on top and third ace on the bottom.
I just don't like saying what I have.
You told me what the fuck.
Yeah, I called you.
Maybe it's very simple.
I have the right.
That's a slow. That's a fucking slow rule. No matter what you do, that's fucking slow. You said I'm that shit happens. It's slow. It's alright. It's alright. Don't worry about it.
Well, and that's what he has, and he tells you that you don't see it till you get.
That's a slow roll, baby.
No, you can't. Not until the hand is over. That's the point.
It is what it is. You won the fucking hand. Don't worry about it. You got it, you got it. That's alright. It's about knowing how to fucking take poker and poker anyway.
Strap on, boys. About to get more fun. Yeah, I heard that. Que toaste más para acá, porque tienes un chorro, tienes que tiene un spray. Para que tengas, para que usted se expanda. Sí, 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 sí.
That's all I
Si
see.
quieres recordar.
Apologize.
It's all good, but don't say. You talk about poker,
No,
poker.
but the reason that I did that shit is because we have a really tendency to go back all the fucking footage so far.
Sí.
have a really bad tendency of jumping on
Yo,
people
¿por qué?
and then asking them what they have when they call you.
When they call me.
Yeah, no, when you shove, your cards are first.
That's irrelevant.
Last aggressive.
That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. That's fucking irrelevant.
8 range, 30, 9 folds.
I already know I'm not relevant.
Bro, that should be my name
If I
next
put
time.
something
You're
in
gonna
the
hit
I'm like, what do you have? That's fucking common. That's common. Everybody does that. What do you have?
The only time you wanted to risk it, you
You tell me, like, I don't want to tell you, then that's cool.
I want to.
But I wouldn't ask you what you have. And I would tell you.
Yeah, or say, I don't have shit. That's a fucking problem.
That's not the point. That's the point. And he got excited because he thought he won the hand.
Yeah.
He said he didn't have shit, and the draws break that. So it's more of that.
That's what I was like, okay, I was like, look, I got you. That's what I was always saying, I got you. Game's still going.
I said was, I have you right now. Okay.
It's all good, but don't worry. You got
Check.
8. 3, this.
I made 3 big hands. Damn, Bob. Damn, fire. Any 2 cards.
Those are the hockey teams on.
Yeah.
Turn that shit off. King 8, not King 8, just King 8, not King 8.
Mira. No, 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 no. Los parecidos. Nos vemos, Neto. Ey, tráete. Tráete más. Nobody's on the list.
No, that's the first next one.
The action like this is a nice competition. I haven't played.
Seat open, take one out.
I haven't played a hand. No, nobody.
Only if something really bad happens.
You say no, I mean, you said yes.
Only if you lose a really big bet.
Check the video, tape.
And he probably saw it. Say that. This is dope, right?
130 you said, Bob?
Yeah, I need it, bro.
I only want 2 little pots. Let's see what happens. All right.
Yep, three chips.
Oh, thank you. Well, his friend was next. He said no.
Yeah, that's what I told him.
Yeah, Bob would be great.
Yeah, get Bob over
Great
here.
business.
Get Bob over here.
No, but I just want to see how much that ball.
What's yours?
Four players.
That you Neto.
Yeah, he did have been on the bottom end.
Yeah.
This is good, really good for action.
We got Ruben here. Probably 1,000. What Ruben?
That little nitty kid.
Oh, Ruben.
Little doctor number 2.
The nitty kid. No, wait. Espérate. Let's switch him out. Go talk to Flor. Hey, man, I've been I can. Ni una ace así como esa. Like, give me some.
I put in $150 for 3 chips.
Hey, pero te.
See that turn? I lose $1,000.
Yeah, hey, pero te cambió ahí with that one, with that car, o sea, like, you started.
Wow, Go find you a wheelbarrow, I'll be back. We're gonna find you a wheelbarrow, I'll be back.
Is he coming back to you?
I'm feeling so lucky.
You win the.
Oh shit, I won it. I was gonna put 10,000. So I'll put 10,000.
Can we get like an extra spoon?
So I want with the big pot I gave to Alex. My ear, just take it. You win.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate it.
Right in front of you.
So, Ruben, how you doing, man? See you, man. See you too. How you doing, brother?
Good? Yes, sir.
Y'all doesn't look at the Italy.
Yeah?
Yes, sir. 2 months. 2 months. 2 months.
How's it going?
Good. See? Everything's good.
Pues family, we're excited. We're supporting you.
Actually, let me know where you are right away. I'll send you some bluffs. Some stuff out. 30? I'll call you 30 at least.
Yeah, come. And we sold that.
Are we good?
We sold that thing already.
All right, I'm ready when you are. Okay, looks like we had a little difficulties with the microphone here, but got the headset switched out, and sorry for the delay, but we are here 1-3. Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley, as we pick up the action. Looks like somebody already busted out of seat 2 earlier. We're going 5 ways to a flop. Best hand right now is Ace Jack. 6-6-4. Don't think anybody has a pocket pair nor a 6. Ace high still the best hand. Looks like it's going to go check around. Jack on the turn, and once again, Ace Jack. Now the best hand for sure. I believe everybody else is drawn dead. There was a King Queen in the mix, so King Queen still has outs. But pretty much everybody drawn thin. Ace Jack 88% to win right now. As Ruben's going to take a stab at it with the King Queen. And Colin with the Ace Jack obviously going to make the call. So should go heads up to the river here as we have about $300 in this pot. King or Queen for Ruben? No, sir. Let's see if he puts in the bluff, $300 in the pot. I don't think Colin's folding the Ace Jack, and Ruben just gives up. Waves the white flag there. So Ruben checks. Will Colin put a bet? I kind of like at least a $100 bet here. Nope, looks like Colin bet 225. And once Ruben checked the turn, he wasn't calling anything. All right, so we are a hand 27, and yes, we did have easy for me to say, audio difficulties the first hour or so, but I believe we have those corrected now. So if you are watching, let me know in the chat. Here we go, little Chatsville action.
Chip, table 9.
I just hope it's not for me.
You guys will love this. What is that from trial?
Okay, so here we go. As hand 27 on the stream here, looks like we have a $10 button straddle from Big Fish, and the action will be on the small blind. This is a button straddle, so it does start to the immediate left. It's going to be Luis there. King Queen raising it up to 35. Folding around to Fish in the 5 seat. He has an ace. Let's see if he comes along. He does. We got Mohawk, who is very incognito. Mohawk with just the 10s. Flat in with the 10s. Kind of interesting there. Might have bumped it up myself. That's going to bring along Big Fish with the suited ace on the button. And 5 ways we go to $178 in the pot. Action will be on the pre-flop raiser, seat 1. Luis made it 35. Picked up 4 callers. 10 or 7, let's see. No, 9 high flop. 2 spades. So this might get New York Bob in trouble here, as he's really not going to be worried about the 9. Mohawk will bet. Bob will call. Big Fish is going to go after his gut shot. He also has some backdoor diamonds. So we have Big Fish and then we have regular fish. So regular fish out of the way as well. 3 ways to the turn, just over $400 in the pot. Pocket 10s in front. Let's see a diamond. Let's see a diamond. And yes, it is a diamond. So Mohawk's going to have to size up here if he wants a Big Fish to fold. Don't know if the kings will stop the action here, as he does have the 10, so now it's an overcard. Nobody should really have a king. Yeah, he does bet 125. And Big Fish is going to call him. So Big Fish looking for an ace, a deuce, or a diamond. And no, he's going to miss. I think Mohawk might check the 9s here. A bit of a scare card for him, and he does check. Big Fish will have to go all in here if he wants to take down this pot. Is he going to give up? Mohawk did check. Big Fish has exactly a pot-sized bet left, and he's going to have to put all of it in. And looks like he only put 225 in, and he gets snap called. So, yeah. He knew he had to bluff it because he just had the ace high, but his sizing was too small. And Mohawk snap calls him with the 10s. So let me know in the chat if the audio, yes, we hear you. Okay, there, somebody making a comment. There we go. Got Joey Pigtails, poker vlogger, does a lot of Omaha. I believe he's based out of Florida. I think I saw one of his vlogs the other day. I think it started off like animated, if I'm not mistaken. If you're still on the stream, if you're still watching the stream, Joey Pigtails, let us know. But I believe that was you that I saw on the vlog. Your own vlog. He does have a vlog. I'm pretty sure he's based out of Florida. Focuses on Omaha. All right, making sure all the cards get scanned right. That's going to be Ruben under the gun. Okay, and it looks like they carried on the small blind game. This got introduced on Friday, the small blind game, and we'll let you know the details on that if you don't know it. Fish making the call with the ace-3 of hearts, calling, raising it up to 20. New York Bob had pocket 7s last time. This time has pocket 9s. And is he just going to call, or is he going to put in the 3-bet? And yes, he does put in the 3-bet. So this should clear everybody out. Fish might get sticky with the suited ace, and that's exactly what he does. So Colin immediately folds. Heads up, 184 in the pot. Action will be on Fish. So Colin would have flopped open-ended, but he decided to fold. And now with 3 spades on the board, it's continue to go check. And New York Bob with the 9 of spades will win this. I don't know if Fish is going to try to bluff it. No, he doesn't. So even though it went check all the way to the river, still almost a $200 pot there in this 1-3 game. As New York Bob takes his stack to over 3,000. So I did mention that they are playing the small blind game. I believe that's what it's known as in most places. Essentially, the way it works is the small blind for that one particular hand is the only player that has the chance to win the bonus. And that bonus is $5 on the button put on by every player. So it starts off at $5. And if the small blind doesn't win the hand, then the next hand, the player who's on the button adds to it. So he'll put on another $5. So now it's $10. And now only the small blind for that particular hand can win. So it really does build up real quick because the chances that the small blind are going to win are probably the least amount on the table just because they're in the worst position. It also does really widen the range for the small blind as well. So it brings action to the game as a Colin once again raising. This time he has the king jack of clubs. And Big Fish will put in the 3-bet here as he has both Colin and New York Bob dominated with the king queen. So Colin's going to call this time. He is suited. And that's probably going to bring in New York Bob. It's going to give him some pot odds. There you go. So we are going 3 ways to a flop of almost $300 in the pot, $277 to be exact. Big Fish with both of them dominated. So he needs to fade a jack or a 10. Also looking to avoid clubs. So nice flop there for him to c-bet as it should go check, check, and does. Probably about 125 should be a nice bet here. Let's see what Big Fish assembles. He's going to bet 150. And nobody's able to call. Oh, actually it was a 175 bet, so putting out a big bet is the Big Fish, but it does get the job done, as nobody had anything to call him with. So as you can see, there's a green chip now on the button, so that is up to $30, which means that it has gone 6 different times where the small blind hasn't won. So that $30 can only be won by the small blind on this hand. It can only be won by the small blind. And if the small blind doesn't win, then the next hand, $5 will get added to the button, and then the next small blind will be eligible for that. So got the dealer change here, and looks like we have a $15 straddle under the gun, essentially a third blind. As we would like to thank everybody who joined us tonight, and I know there was some people that were wondering about the audio. Like I said, that is correct. Thank you for sticking with us. And looks like we got a lot of good stacks on the table for a 1-3 game. A lot of green chips. A lot of green chips on the table. Action will be on Mohawk, but he's not here. I need to figure out what Mohawk's wearing. Looks like he has a hoodie with a ski mask with goggles. Big Fish won last hand. Seeing if he's on a heater, we'll call the $15 straddle. And that's going to be on seat 2. That's going to be Frank, Queen Jack of diamonds, and Frank's going to bump it up to 65. I like this sizing. So as you can see, Ruben, who's a small blind, he folded, so that's going to get added to. So next time that's going to go up to 35. Fish with the ace jack, starting a hand with $469. Is he going to put in the 4-bet? No, he just makes the flat call. Big Fish might come along here, closing the action. 2 more green chips for him, and he does. He's actually in better shape than Frank is right now, because Frank has his Queen Jack dominated. The jack still comes, and Fish, let's not get confused here, Fish will check it. Frank's going to continue, and Fish should be check raising here, I believe. Let's see what he does. No, he just called. Wow. So diamond for some fun? Diamond for some fun. So flush draw versus top 2 pair. Is Fish going to check it again? Wow, it went check, check. Wow, the turn went check, check. So now Fish is going to get some value. I think Frank is going to call. It's $200. That's a good amount of Frank's stack, though. It's also a good amount of Fish's stack. So Frank does make the call. And I can't believe that the money did not go all in on the turn there, as Fish turned top 2. I guess the ace scared off Frank. Fish did check the flop. I thought he was going to check raise. He did not. And then he kept playing possum on the turn when he turned top 2. As he checked again, Frank picks up the flush draw, but decides to slow down as the ace got him to slow down. He thought it was a bad card, and it was, even though it gave him a flush draw. So we got Fish in seat 5, Big Fish in seat 9, New York Bob, Mohawk. Mohawk's back at the table, put it on the straddle there. So the action will be on New York Bob, $10 straddle being put on by Mohawk. New York Bob not at his seat, has the 9-8 offsuit. We'll see what Big Fish has. The ace-4 should be coming in for a raise here. Nope, just goes. No, he did raise. He min-raised it. Goes from 10 to 20. Now Luis with the better ace is gonna just call. So Big Fish better hope that an ace does not come as Chaos comes along with his suited king. Now Fish, the only player eligible for that button bonus, is gonna call with the 9-5s. Like I said, oh, Mohawk's gonna be, is he just calling as well? Wow. So a lot of players taking some passive lines with their hands here. The 9-5 of the small blind is in as well, like I said. So Big Fish flopping a flush draw, Mohawk flopping a straight draw, Louis flopping middle pair. So all the aces flopping some equity here as there's $103 in the pot, and action is on Fish. I think he already checked. He does. Mohawk checked. And Big Fish with the flush draw is going to put out a $60 bet. I think Mohawk's going to call, but let's see what he does. So Mohawk does call, looking for a king. King of spades. Spicy king of spades. It's a 9, so now he's open-ended with that jack. I don't think he's going to fold to another bet as he has almost $2,000 in his stack and Big Fish has $400. So real awkward situation for Big Fish, because if he bets here, it's going to have to be a decent amount of his stack. Let's see what Big Fish does here. And he does check. King of spades? No. So ace-jack is going to be the winner here. Big Fish is going to have to bluff it in, and Mohawk caught him bluffing a couple of hands ago, and that's going to slow him down. So it goes check, check on the river. The same players were involved in a hand about 5 hands ago, and Big Fish tried to bluff it in and got immediately called. So he was a little gun shy, and this time the bluff might have worked. Last time it wasn't going to work, but this time it might have worked. All right, let me catch up on the chat here. I got a little bit behind here. Okay. Okay. Just catching up with the chat. We do have the live chat on YouTube. As Frank just calls the $3 from the low jack. So that's going to bring everybody else along. So calling with the 5-6. So 5 ways to the flop. Frank with the ace-queen suited, only calling the $3. And Mohawk will flop the king to take the lead now. I don't think he's going to bet it, and it's going to go check around as we only have $15 in the pot. Deuce of clubs. Does anybody have a deuce? Does anybody have clubs? And Fish has both. Fish has the deuce and the clubs. So great turn for him. I think Manny's going to call a bet on the river here. Wow, it's a pretty big size. So Fish going with a double the pot size bet. There was only $50 in the pot, and Fish wanted to make it look like a bluff. Bets twice the pot, and looks like Mohawk sniffed it out and makes the fold. So you can see that he just won the $29. So a good fold by Mohawk there, as a lot of people might call there, thinking that it's a chop pot, kings and deuces with the jack kicker. But he figured it out, and not only that, I think that the pot was just only $50. So figured it wasn't worth fighting for. All right, looks like we have a button straddle of $10. You can see it in front of the button. On top of the button is that $5 that has grown for the small blind game. Action will be on the small blind. So Mohawk with the 8-5 offsuit, I think he's going to get rid of it. And does. So New York Bob folded as well. Frank with the 10-4 diamonds. Chaos also with diamonds, but he has the ace-high diamonds. Fish folding the jack deuce, and the straddler is going to be checking his option, 8-3. So even though he has the worst hand, he's going to have position. Jack, jack, 6. Good flop for Colin to bluff at, but it's actually Chaos. Oh, wait, Chaos has a 6, so there you go. I was wondering why Chaos was betting, but that makes sense. I thought he was just betting with ace high. So YouTube chat is live. Let us know where you are watching from tonight. City, state, country, home, work. So it looks like there's $50 on the button now. That's not a straddle, that is the small blind game. Something they were playing here on Friday night. We do have a 2-5 stream on TCH live on Friday nights. And I guess the players liked it because it looks like it carried over, as action will be on Luis. And he will raise it up to 20, 25 with the 10s. Immediate call from Frank, queen jack offsuit. And this should clear most players out. Bob, New York Bob, has the bonus that he can win, so he's coming along in big fish. Look at the gamble with the queen 9. So queen 9, the only hand that's in really rough shape, as it'll come 7 high. Good flop for the 10s there. I think Louis is going to bet about 70 here. He's betting a pot-sized bet of 100. So doesn't like those 2 spades, pretty much denying everybody's equity if they do have a flush draw, but nobody does. So this should take it down. And it does.
One in a row, baby. One in a row, no.
So welcome. We are here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. One of 6 locations for the Texas Card House across the state of Texas, and one of 4 streaming locations. So the original Texas Card House in Austin, pretty much central Texas. And then you have the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley, which is in South Texas. Then you have Texas Card House Spring, which is the Houston area, North Houston to be exact. Then you have Texas Card House Houston. So that's pretty much East Texas. And then you have North Texas. You have 2 in the Dallas area. One of them in the city of Dallas and one of them in the city of Irvin, Las Colimas to be exact. So it looks like we have a double straddle here as Chaos putting on the 30. Frank making it 15 under the gun straddle. Chaos making it 30. Ruben with a pretty hand. King 10 of spades, but I don't think he's going to be able to call a double straddle. Fish with the ace jack. He's only going to call. King queen for calling. Good fold there. And Big Fish is coming along with the 5 high, or natural 9, as they say in Baccarat. Chaos with the ace-6. He does check his option. So Big Fish actually not in terrible shape, as he's a 30% to win. And he flops trips. That's the good news. The bad news is nobody has a flush draw, nobody has a 10. Oh, Big Fish is in the small blind. That's why he called with the 4-5. Yeah, he's going after that $55, and he's going to win that bonus because nobody has anything, and I don't see him folding. He's still checking, trying to get somebody to bet, and Chaos finally falls into the trap. Will he check the river? So I couldn't figure out why Big Fish called with the 5-4 offsuit, but it is a small blind game. I think he's just going to check again and hope that Chaos has... yeah, he does check, and Chaos does take the bait. So Big Fish is probably going to go all in here. Yeah, he min raises it. Min raises it to 250, so Chaos cannot call this. But he puts in the min raise, hoping Chaos hit the king on the river. But that's not the case. So Big Fish will take down this pot. Just Chaos is posturing right now. He's never calling, and he finally does fold. But he does get the bonus on the button. There you go. They're giving him the bonus. So you can see a little smile come from the Big Fish knowing he picked up that bonus. He did have a hand, though. Did not have a good hand pre-flop, but had a very good hand once those first 3 cards came out. All right, you can see the winnings right now. New York Bob in the lead, over $2,000. Sitting to his right is Mohawk. He's up $1,500, and Chaos is up almost $1,000. Everybody else is in the hole. Frank, in the biggest hole, for over $1,000. All right, Chaos with the straddle. Looks like 16. Yes, he says 16 under the gun there from Chaos. The straddle action will be on Ruben. Ruben with the 9-deuce offsuit. Good hand for blackjack, not a good hand for poker. He'll toss it in the muck. Fish with the 10-4. Also going in the muck. Call an ace-king, $15 straddle. Should be making it like 50. Makes it 45. So it looks like the action's on New York Bob. I don't see him call him with the jack-deuce. I know it's suited, but he does muck it, as does Big Fish. Luis with the 7s. Puts in the flat call, as does Frank with the 8-4 of diamonds. Chaos with the queen 6 of spades. So 7's in the lead right now. The ace king actually has the most equity. Ace king 5. So Colin hitting a flop. He was the initial raiser, so he should be c-betting here, especially with the 2 clubs on the board, especially with the pot being multi-way. And that is a mask that Mohawk has. I don't think it's sunglasses. I think it's part of the mask. So he is going to be betting 65, and this should get the job done. So $200 pot going to Colin. Is this the VPip? No, it's the raise first in. So Frank, I'm a little surprised as he limped with the ace-queen of spades earlier in the low jack. But he's actually first on the list as raise first in. Cheers. Chaos actually at 0%. Chaos has not been the first one to raise. That's not to say he hasn't been involved in pots. I'm sure he's been calling some pre-flop raises, but he himself has not been the initial raiser pre-flop. Double straddle. Fish put it on the 20, so it'll be 20 to go for Colin, as he will be first to act. (6-3) should be going into muck. Mohawk with the mask. I could see some people watching on stream right now really hating that mask. Frank is just going to ship it in with the king 9. See some dead money out there. Oh, and he also has the bonus. I think it's only $10, the bonus for the small blind, but it is a little bonus. Is Fish calling him with queen high? Oh, I think Fish thought it was like 100, and he was willing to gamble for 100, but he already made the call. So Fish had 20 in there, and he saw a queen, so he said, why not? It's $100. Well, it turned out to be $193. So Fish with the queen deuce offsuit, Frank with the king 9. So Frank was making a move, and he got called. I'm sure he wasn't happy, but now he is, as he flops a king and a 9. So Fish going to need some running cards here, and that's not it. So Frank with the double up. Like I said, Fish had a $20 strato out there. He thought it was about $100. He did not get a count from the dealer. And that's one of the reasons why you should always get a count. He just kind of glanced at Frank's chips and thought it was 100, so he flicked in the call, just seeing the queen. So double up there for Frank, as he's been the most aggressive player, followed by Big Fish and New York Bob. And they just let him know, hey, you got that $10 bonus from the small blind game. So now he'll put the $5 on. That is not a button straddle. It is for the small blind game. So he got a little bonus that he didn't even know about. And I think he gave it straight to the dealer. Basically, it's like when you have a dirty stack, but it's a good dirty. You have like a green in between some red chips. You just made $20. Normally for me, it's the other way, though. Have a white chip between the red chips and lose $4. All right, Big Fish with the 9-7, just going to make the call. I'm sorry. That's Fish with the 9-7. Big Fish with the king 6. And Luis with the raise, just to $20, a little on the small side. And this is probably going to bring everybody in, and does. So Luis had 10s earlier, was able to win the pot. We'll see if he's able to do it again, as it is an ace-high flop with all hearts. He does have the 10 of hearts, but Frank, the winner of the last 10, flopping a monster, flopping top pair with a flush draw. Luis only bet him 45, so essentially trying to figure out if somebody has an ace, and Frank immediately calls him.
No, he tipped it though.
Oh,
Exactly, yeah.
All I got was $10 off of it. Sorry, guys. My fault.
Yeah, no, he wanted it and he tipped it.
All right, so Luis in bad shape here, only has one out. I'm sorry, he had 2 outs and he hit one of them. Wow, that is gross. I mean, Frank's not going anywhere, and Luis isn't going anywhere now either. So this is probably going to turn into a big pot here as Luis continues on. Only 65. Does Frank still just call? Wow. The rivers, the 7 of hearts. So real interesting hand there between the 10s and ace-jack. The 10s were ahead pre-flop. Then the aces, the ace-jack was ahead on the flop. The 10s retook the lead on the turn. And then the ace-jack comes from behind again and takes the lead on the river. And, of course, that's where you want the lead. You want the lead on the river. So Frank with the ace-jack, I thought the hand would have gotten a little out of control on the turn there. But Frank just calling the $65 bet on the turn.
I really should have left that here before.
Just the VPIP. Here we go. So Fish, who called an all-in earlier with Queen Deuce, he's in first right now. And then Frank, just over half, and Big Fish just under half on the VPIP. So we have Fish, Frank, and Big Fish, the top 3 leaders right now on the VPIP. Ruben in last place, less than 10%. So I'm not sure if Ruben's been card dead or what's going on there, but that is a very low VPIP from Ruben. Once again, we are live on the chat on YouTube, so if you're watching us from YouTube and you want to chat, you can put some comments there. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you do hit that like and subscribe button. So Luis with the raise. Excuse me, Big Fish raising its 10 with the ace-3. And everybody's calling 5 ways to a flop. We have 2 players with 7-6. And then 2 players sharing a 4. So ace, king, deuce, Big Fish flopping top pair. He's just going to go check around. Now the jack, so any queen makes a straight, but I don't think anybody has a queen. Fish in C5 there just folds his hand. So nobody bet the turn, but half the players folded. So Fish, who the action was on him, instead of checking, he folded, and that caused 2 other players to fold. And that'll give the win to Big Fish. So I think the small blind game's up to 15 because it got won by seat 2, so he put a 5 on there when it was his big blind. So yeah, it's up to 15. So there's the pre-flop raisin. We saw that earlier as Frank was in the lead, and he's still in the lead. So no straddles this hand, so a true 1-3 game for everybody except the small blind. The small blind has a $15 bonus, as there's $15 on the button as part of the small blind game. That is not a straddle. Keep in mind that it's not a straddle. It's part of the small blind game. So action on Mohawk with the mask. Jack 5 in the muck. New York Bob, King Queen. He makes the raise to 20. Luis with the ace 4 making the call, and Chaos with the aces. I'm thinking at least 75 here. At least 75. He's trying to figure out how much Bob has in his stack, the initial raiser, because he wants action from him. And he's going to make it 80. Gets an immediate call from Fish with the, let's see what Fish has here. With King Jack offsuit. So Fish calling light, but he does have that $15 bonus that he's going after. I think, no, Bob makes the call too with King Queen. So Luis makes the fold. So three ways, to the flop we go. The ace is way out in front, over 80% against two opponents. Queen 7 deuce. Bob flopping top pair, so Bob's not folding to one bet, but Chaos is going to make it big here. Chaos betting almost the pot. As a matter of fact, I think he's betting 250. So 263 in the pot, almost a pot-sized bet. I think Bob has to peel one off here, unless if he has this amazing read on Chaos. He's not folded top pair with a king kicker here, and he does make the call. So Bob drawn to a king or a queen as we go to the turn with $763 in the middle. The turn, the 6 of hearts, so that's not going to change anything. Bob will, I would imagine, check and flow. He has no hearts, no player with any hearts. So Bob, action is on Bob. We'll see if he decides to take the lead away, and he does. He bets 250, and Chaos is going to move all in and put Bob to the test here. So there was a $250 bet on the flop by Chaos. The turn peels off, and Bob then takes the lead, and he bets $250. And he has a decision now as Chaos has moved all in. Bob is getting a count. So Bob the big winner for tonight, but if he makes this call, he will be drawn to 3 outs. I think Chaos might have just gotten greedy here. The heart on the turn did put a straight and a flush draw out there. I think if Chaos has the ace of hearts, he either just calls or makes a smaller raise. But since Chaos does not have the ace of hearts, he doesn't want to be up against like ace queen. So he put in a raise here. I don't think Bob's going to call. I think it's too much. I think Chaos got a little greedy, like I said, but I understand. Because he doesn't have the ace of hearts. And not only that, like you would rather bet too big than too small. So Bob with the decision here does have 3 outs. He's the big winner of the night as we are 40 hands in for tonight. If you like what you're seeing, make sure you do hit that like button. And if you're still not subscribed, there are 2 different channels. There's a TCH Live channel and there's a Texas Card House channel. So you might not be subscribed to both. So make sure you do subscribe to Texas Card House, the YouTube channel. Friday we're playing 2-5. That's going to be on the TCH Live. But as I said, this is the Texas Card House channel. Bob's still thinking. And like I said, it's easy for me to see with the cards, but I think even if I did not see the cards here, you just kind of got to put your opponent on something that's beating you. So I think Bob finally made the fold. Yes, Bob finally makes the fold. So I don't know if chaos shows, but either way, Bob will see, since we are on a 15-minute delay. So Bob actually telling the table that he folded kings right now. He does realize this is a stream game, right? He said he had a bad feeling. That part might be true. But him folding kings, you could see that was not. All right, so $5 gets added to the small blind game, as this is a 1-3 game. And Chaos picking up the pot there. So Ruben over 10% now on the vpip. Maybe he heard me. So action will be on seat 8. That's going to be New York Bob. So he just go on last hand. Does he jump back in? So big fish, put it in the raise. It's a small one, Queen 10 of hearts. I've seen him do this with kings before, but this time he just has the Queen 10 of hearts.
Yeah, once I figured out you had kings, I was just bagging and kind of like, call.
Fish with the 3 deuce of diamonds comes in for the raise. I actually like this play. He's on the button. He feels that the $8 is a weak raise, and in this case, it is. So big fish with the $8 raise did pick up a call from Frank. So fish on the button sees it, and like I said, he's sensing weakness. Colin, I think, is going to be going for it. The small blind game in effect here. So Colin going after that bonus and making the squeeze with the king, queen offsuit. I think maybe he picked up on the same thing that Fish picked up on, is he thought the initial raise was weak, so he figured right in this case. And Fish is going to come along. It looks like it's not in terrible shape. Basically 60-40 going to the flop here, and he will have position. Does flop a pair, but so does Colin. So Fish only has $400 left, and Fish isn't folded for 1 bet. So Colin's probably going to bet about half pot here. Yep. There it goes. They're all in. As Colin checked, Fish went all in, and Colin snap called him. So Colin looking for the small blind bonus. Burn is down. All right, the river 3 or a deuce. Nope. Colin will scoop it and pick up the small blind game, the bonus there. So I think Fish is going to take a little break. So they are holding the feet for Fish. So that'll take us to 8-handed. I know that we're 8-handed for a while, but then we got the seat filled. We're back to 8-handed. So the button should, there you go. No, the button's on Colin. There you go. So Colin will put on the $5 on the button for the small blind game, and then puts out $10 for the button straddle. So the dealer just confirming. It can be a little confusing with all of the chips there on the button. But the chips that are on the actual button, that is not a strato. It is part of the small blind game. Action will be on the man in the iron mask. So Mohawk makes the fold. I don't think that's an iron mask, but it's a movie from back in the 90s, Leonardo DiCaprio movie. And John Malkovich. Of course, John Malkovich came out in that poker movie. 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. I'm not sure if that was 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, but it was a direct correlation between the two. All right, 4 ways to the flop. Two diamonds, 9-high flop. I think everybody missed here. So $40 in the pot. Is anybody going to take a stab at it? I think Colin might. And it looks like Colin's assembling some chips. Going to be 20? Yeah, bets basically half pot here. Big Fish will probably peel, as he does have a gut shot, and he does have the best hand. He doesn't know that he has the best hand, but he does have the best hand. So I think everybody's going to fold with the exception of Big Fish, unless if he gets too caught up in his massage. No, Bob with some backdoor hearts. He's in. He makes a call, and Big Fish folds. So maybe Big Fish is just enjoying his massage too much. Bob does not want to see a king on the turn. And it is a diamond. Colin with the queen of diamonds is just going to continue on here. Probably going to be betting about 50. New York Bob should check. Colin's probably going to be betting about 50 here. He does pick up a flush draw now. If he bet the flop with king high and now he has a flush draw, you can see him betting again. And it's going to be 65, and that should shake New York Bob, and does.
That whole thing about running it twice también, I wasn't used to that.
Don't forget about our poker pyramid. Somebody actually hit the royal flush on that. So we are up to the 3rd level now, I believe. And it's all going to get paid out. So if you hit quads and that quad has not been hit, then you have a shot at $300. The first level's been hit. I'm like 90% sure the second level's been hit. For sure, the royal flush has been hit. The straight flush has been hit. So now if you hit quads, then you will qualify for a bonus here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. So Louis making the call with the 5 deuce, as is Frank. No, Frank's going to raise. So Frank making it 23. 23, LeBron James. I'm kidding. I know it's Jordan. Ruben with the pocket 3s making the call. Colin with the king 9 of clubs coming along. And Bob going after that small blind bonus. He comes along with the 7-4. He is suited, but he doesn't want the clubs to come. I think Luis is going to give up the 5 deuce. King high flop, 2 hearts. Colin flopping the best hand. Luis did stay with his 5 deuce, and he has a gut shot, but 2 of the 3s are folded. I think Bob's going to see another card for 40. He has bottom pair, but it's $40 to win 200. So I think Bob is going to see one more card. No, he folds. So Luis going to have to bluff at this pot if he has a chance. Well, he picks up a deuce. The 3 was his only out, but now he has some backdoor outs. He bet the flop with a gut shot, and now he has a pair, so he's betting 100. Colin's coming along.
Pretty sure I'm folding.
Call it.
No, babe, they got the graphics wrong.
I told you last time.
No, Colin folds. Wow. Once again, it's easy when you're able to see the cards, but I guess Colin thought that Luis had two pairs. So Jay Towers talking about flat calling. Looks like no strat on this hand, but you can see all the green chips on the table, as I think every player has green chips, and that's I'm gonna be honest with you, that's kind of rare in Las Vegas to see a 1-3 table, with every player with green chips. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've ever seen that in Vegas, where every player at the table has green chips at a 1-3 table. Luis might not have green chips. I can't tell, but everybody else for sure has green chips. All right, action will be on seat 2. Frank. No, Luis doesn't have green chips, so. Fish is back. Fish is back in seat 5.
We're taking a shot of Vegas. Y'all want something? No? Take a beer.
And the action is on Fish.
We're taking a shot of Vegas. You want?
Makes the call. I think Colin's going to be raising here. Makes it 20 or 25? It's 20 for sure. Might be 25. Yeah, so it is a $20 raise. Mohawk making the fold. New York Bob folding. Big Fish. Big Fish in seat 9. You can see his big mitt makes the fold. New York Bob actually makes the call with ace-9 of hearts. Luis in the big blind winning the last hand with 5 deuce. Now he has 8-6, so he makes the call. Still don't know what Fish has. Fish with the mystery hand. 8-6, Luis flopping top 2. So unless if Luis flopping top 2 and Colin flopping a flush draw with a straight draw. Luis is going to lead out. And if Colin raises this pot, it's going to get a little crazy. Like I said, I still don't know what Fish has. Is Colin going to put in the raise, or is he going to see a turn for 35? Yeah, he just puts in the call. New York Bob might call as well. No. So Luis with 8-6, top 2. Do not know what Fish has. Okay, so now Colin with top pair. I believe Fish folded. Where's Fish still in the hand? Because I don't think the card reader picked it up, and I think that's why they're not showing him in the hand. But I'm pretty sure Fish called the $35 on the turn. So Colin's still just calling here. Ace or 4 would be kind of gross, but once again, I don't know what Fish has. That's an 8, so Luis filling up here. And Luis is going to check now. So Luis putting out the trap. And Colin is not going to fall in it. Colin does not fall in it. Like I said, I don't know what Fish had, but Luis is not happy that everybody checked. It's still a decent-sized pot, almost a $400 pot for Luis there, but he's not happy that everybody checked behind him.
I tried.
Jay Towers saying unbelievable. The hand was unbelievable.
I know. I got it all wrong.
I'm surprised Colin didn't raise it with his straight draw and flush draw, and then he turned top pair. But let's be results oriented. It worked out. It worked out for him because Luis wasn't going anywhere with the top 2 pair.
Whatever.
So it is Luis now in the small blind. I believe the small blind game is up to $15 or $20. And we have a restraddle to 24 from Ruben. That'll get the VPip up. So Fish, ace deuce of hearts. Think he's going to call. Just making sure the cards scan right. Just remember, players, if you ever play on a stream table, or maybe if you played on a stream table and you're rewatching this, just make sure that the cards are on the reader a little longer than normal. You see the circles in front of the players, that's where the RFDI reader is. The playing cards have a chip in them, and that's what picks it up, so that's the reader right there. So make sure your cards are on the reader, make sure they stay on there a little longer before you pick them up. That way everything scans properly. So Chaos with the raise here, putting it in the squeeze play. But Fish snap calls him, as does New York Bob. So we got a straight between the 3. One person with an ace, one person with a king, one person with a queen, and another person with a jack and a 10. So all the big cards accounted for between the 3 hands. Flop is out, 5-5-4. It's checked to New York Bob in position. He does have the king jack, and it looks like he's going to put out a bet of 55. I don't think that's going to get rid of Fish. Fish has a gut shot. No, Fish makes the fold. I think this is a Fish's second buy-in, so not gambling as much as he was there in his first buy-in. So the the Poker Pyramid high hands going on during the weekend. It's the deep stack. There we go. That's what I was looking for. We got the $20 tournament. It's a $20 buy-in. You get a 20K starting stack, 20-minute levels, 2,000 guaranteed. It's a real fun tournament on Friday nights. Fridays at 6, Sundays at 2 p.m. $2,000 prize pool guaranteed here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. Colin raising with the 9-10 of clubs. Mohawk just flat calling him with the ace-king. This might bring New York Bob in with the 5-deuce. It's suited and it's connected. Nope, it's going in the muck. Big Fish. Oh, Big Fish with the queens. Might have a big pop between him and Manny Mohawk. So Big Fish making it 75. Pretty sure Colin's going to fold. The only question is, oh, Chaos might call here. Chaos with the ace-10. I think if the ace-10 was suited, he would call, but it's not suited, so he puts it in the muck. So Colin, if Colin makes the call here, Mohawk has to 4-bet it. So Colin does make the call. And now Mohawk needs to be put in the 4-bet here. Big Fish was 600. So Mohawk should be making it at least 200, probably closer to 300. which now he just said all in, I believe. No, he just made the call. Wow. Mohawk playing this very, very passive. I saw him flick one chip in there, and wow, the king is going to come. Big Fish should put in the C-bet here. No, he checks. All right, I'm not going to predict what they're going to do anymore because I've been wrong on every street. I just realized that Colin has open-ended here. And he's going to put out a small bet of 80. And Mohawk just calling. I think Big Fish folds, like I said. So open-ended for Colin. That's not going to be it. So Mohawk should win this hand. $400 in the pot. Colin's going to have to bluff it, but the bluff is not going to work. So Colin bets, Mohawk insta-calls. Colin bets 120, Mohawk insta-calls. And yes, he did have ace king. I thought there was a chance that the card reader was wrong, but what should have happened, at least in my mind, was the ace king and the queens should have got all that all-in pre-flop. But this is a cash game, so you do see players take some different lines. In a tournament, those two hands are getting it all in pre-flop in a tournament. So Mohawk just calling a 3-bet with the ace-king, saving Big Fish some money because Big Fish was going with those queens pre-flop. So it doesn't look like we have a straddle this hand. Its action will be under the gun on Fish. So little hearts keep up at home. We have a fish at the table, and then we have a big fish at the table. Normally it's good to have at least one fish at the table. Well, there's two here tonight. So Fish making the raise to 15 under the gun. Mohawk making the call. Action on Big Fish. He makes the call. So Colin with the fold. Still haven't read Mohawk's hand. There's his hand, 5 deuce of diamonds. Big Fish with the king 7 of hearts. And Chaos has that extra bonus he can hit since he's in the small blind. He's going to come along. So Fours having to dodge a lot of overcards here. And he doesn't need to dodge overcards anymore as he flops a set. Couple of gut shot draws for the 7-8 and the 5 deuce. Fish is just going to check it. And the jack of Luis is going to take a stab. Chaos going to be calling with the gut shot, once again going after that bonus. Will Fish put in the raise? No, Fish just with the call. And Mohawk, I believe, is going to fold. He folds the 5 deuce, or he has backdoor diamonds too. He still has his cards. No, he called. So diamond on the turn? Diamond for some fun? Deuce of, no, can't be the deuce of diamonds. There's a diamond. So now Mohawk is open-ended with a flush draw. And Fish, I think, is going to just go all in. And you can see Mohawk knowing that that was the best / worst card for him. As he now, well, that's actually the best card he could hit without him hitting the 3. He picks up a flush draw, and now he goes from a gut shot to an open-ended. So he's going to have to call here, as it's going to be looks like 580 that he's going to have to call, and you can see him cutting out the chips. I don't see anybody else calling. Unless if Chaos gets really frisky with that 7-8. When Fish moved all in, Mohawk immediately jumped out of his seat. Like I said, that was the best / worst card for the turn. Both these players are stuck for the session. So one of them is going to get unstuck on this hand. Everybody at home saying, do it, do it. Yeah, and that's what he's saying. I mean, I called on the flop to catch a card like this, and now I caught it. He's still thinking. Now, there's two players behind him, and that's factoring in his decision. I think if it's heads up, he's just calling because his flush draw might not be good. So he's still thinking. Yeah, he is debating out loud here, and I know it's easy to see the hands, and we all see the hands, but I think I'm calling here. I don't like it like him, but I think I'm calling. No, I think he folded. Yeah, he folded. Wow, okay. And one of the reasons why he folded was because there was two players behind him. I think if it's heads up between the two of them, he makes the call. I don't think Chaos can call. Does Chaos still have cards? Looks like everybody's enjoying some adult beverages. So action's on Chaos, so he is taking his time to fold, but he does. Looks like that camera's frozen. Yeah, that camera's frozen, but I believe they ran it and he would have missed. I believe they rabbit hunted it and he would have missed. So that camera's frozen, but all the other cameras are good. All right, so it looks like we're going to do a quick dealer change. While they're doing the dealer change, I'd like to remind you about our Deep Stack Tournament here at the Texas Card House. Deep Stack Tournament, this and every Saturday for the month of May. $5,000 guaranteed prize pool, $200 entry fee. It does start at 2 p.m. Keep in mind it is the weekend, so it does start at 2. 50K started stack, 30-minute blind levels. This and every Saturday. All right, looks like the dealer change. Yeah, looks like we got Alex Sinaloa in the box. Yep. Dealer change. There is a $10 straddle, and that hand froze right when fish went all in there. So, yes, we do realize that camera is frozen, but all the other cameras are working. All the graphics are correct. New York Bob with the jacks. It is a straddle, so he's going to raise it up probably to 40 or 50. Makes it 50. Puts the action on Frank, and he's not going. Chaos with the fold. Ruben with the fold. Fish with the jack 10 of diamonds. I think he's going to call, but once again, that camera's frozen, so we can just take a look at the graphics here. He does call. 8-7 to call, and he might call, getting a good price here. And he does call. So Colin flopping a pair of sevens. I think he's going to continue. Let's try to reset that camera there.
One at the rim. Oh my God.
It's hard when you're the first one out. It's hard.
It is.
It is. When you have a set
Out of
of
position, especially with this many people behind you.
It would have been sick if like you just fucking check somebody else checking it.
Yes, Colin does make the call with the 7 and now picks up a straight draw. So Colin with the straight draw. He's going to check 330 in the pot. Bob might check.
unless you're fucking crazy. Unless you're sicko. Crazy.
I wouldn't put past me that, Bob. I said I wouldn't put past me.
Oh, Colin gets there on the river. Colin with the 7-8 gets there on the river.
When I was in position, didn't see all the action. It wasn't.
It's going to take at least 15 minutes to reset that frozen camera, but Colin, the camera's not on him. He's in seat 6. He did hit trips on the river. The queen might save Bob. The heart might save Bob. New York Bob did bet the river, did bet the flop, excuse me, and Colin called him, so he put him either on some sort of pair or draw, but New York Bob looks like, no, it's 160. The bet's 160. Like I said, since it's the 7 of hearts, the heart might save Bob $160. Colin straddled under the gun to $10. Bob, next stack, New York Bob made it 50 with the jacks. The big blind of fish came along, and Colin came along. Flop came out, queen 7-6, 2 hearts, and check to Bob. Bob bet 90, and fish folded. Colin called. The turn went check, check, and now the river. No, Bob does make the call, just couldn't get away from the jacks. He's going to see how unlucky he got. Like I said, the 7 of hearts might have saved it since the flush draw got there, but Colin gave him a good price, and Bob makes the call. Up to 69 viewers. We do appreciate everybody tuning in tonight and appreciate everybody who was sticking with us at the beginning. We did have some audio issues in the beginning, but that is corrected. Is this the vpip? No, this is going to be, yes, this is the vpip. So fish in first, New York Bob in second. Fish up to 61%. This was before he had to rebuy, though, so I think that's going to be coming down. New York Bob at 51%. Big Fish in at 49%. Mohawk in at 28%. And, yes, I have just got word that the camera issue is getting fixed. Keep in mind, we are in a 15-minute delay, so it does take that 15 minutes to catch up. So you did see the camera that is frozen, should be working in 15 minutes. New York Bob, first tack, 10-4 in the muck. Big Fish, Jack 9. He's going to be coming in for a raise.
Where are you from? Oh, no, not here.
Chaos going to be calling with the better Jack. So Jack 9 off suit from Big Fish. Getting a little frisky with it, but looks like it's going to work. I believe this is Colin's first time here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. Sounds like the table is making some recommendations on where to go. So 5-5-4 is the flop, 3 ways. Fish flopping an open-ended, so he's not going anywhere. That's Fish in seat 5, and yes, we know that camera is frozen. Should be working in 15 minutes. Fish is going to lead right out. He's going to bet 21, and that should get the job done. So it looks like everybody's giving Colin advice on where to go. It's normally good to get advice from 1 or 2 people, but it sounds like the entire table is saying, no, you got to go here, bro. So Chaos will finally make the fold.
There,
Oh, and Fish went in the small blind. game.
Built by one man. Built by the government. Yes. A man died, now his 3 kids on it.
So they're getting all that money.
Yeah, that buck. Yeah, it goes to the family.
Wow.
All right, so Fish winning and picking up the bonus from the small blind.
He built the bridge years ago. And he
Doesn't seem like there's going to be a straddle this hand, so just a normal 1-3. I think Luis finally got a green chip. It looks like we have a new player. Got a new player there in seat 4. So we'll see if we get information on that player. As action right now is on New York Bob under the gun, King 8 offsuit. Pretty sure he's going to muck it. Big Fish already reaching for chips there. And he's going to raise 9-7 of diamonds, makes it 25. All right. Don't know who that is in seat 4, but let's see what the graphics say. Action is on David. So David taking Ruben's seat. 25 for Fish to call. He makes the call. Colin makes the call. And Manny getting a real good price with the 7-5. He does fold, though. So 5 ways to the flop we go. Big Fish to initial raiser with the 9-7 of diamonds. And it's going to come Queen, Queen 6, 2 clubs. Frank with the Queen 10. Colin with the clubs. It goes checked around, and Colin hits his flush on the turn. Let's see if he bets it now. The graphics are correct on the screen. The action is on Colin. You can see the little cursor. So I think Colin does bet 80, and Fish might call with the Jack 10. Yeah, Fish is reaching for chips. I believe Fish is calling too. So yes, no, Fish folded, okay? River is the 4. So action is on Colin with the flush. He bet the turn. He should be betting the river here, probably about between 125 and 150, I would imagine. And Frank's just going to have to call with the trip queens, I think. So Colin putting out the bet. Oh, it's on the big side. So Colin calling, and Frank snap calling him. Colin betting almost $300. I thought that bet would not get called, but Frank snap called him with the trip queens. So like I said earlier, when Chaos had the aces and bet on the big side, I thought it was on the big side, but if you can't decide on a size, just kind of default to go on the bigger size, because if you do get called, well, now you're making more. Colin also went in the small blind game, and the players want to bump it up to $10, but I think they're going to keep it at 5. So Colin's also been straddling the button, and that straddle has been next to the button, not on the button, because the chip on the button right now is for the small blind game. No, it looks like they're bumping it up to 10, so yes, small blind game on for 10, and Big Fish immediately straddles to 10. So the player that just sat down, David in C4, they are now explaining the game to him. Some players know about this game, some players don't, but once it gets explained, and more importantly, once you win it, and you're like, all right, this can work. Frank going all in after losing that big pot with the Queen 8 offsuit. This might get through. I don't think Colin's going to call him with King High, and he does not. Manny, I don't think he's going to call him with Jack High. Oh, it's not going to work. So New York Bob, get an account. New York Bob with the Ace Jack will be making the call. Big Fish immediately folds, and Frank isn't in terrible shape here. He does have 2 live cards, so it's going to be about 60-40 once Luis folds. So I think there's been some queens and 8s folded. That's why it's actually 64-36. Ace coming right on the flop, so that pretty much, no wait, backdoors? Backdoors, backdoors? No. So New York Bob with the win. I don't know if Frank's going to rebuy.
I was never used to that stuff. Like, hey, let's run it twice. And I'm like, I feel kind of weird about that question.
I think New York Bob was, no, he was the big blind there. Manny was the small blind. So now the button game will go up to $20 as they have agreed to bump it up. There is the stack sizes. Mohawk the big winner. Well, Mohawk and New York Bob tied 1,800 each. Colin was in the hole earlier. He got out of it. David just sat down, came in for 500. Hasn't played a hand. He's only seen 1 hand. Frank, who just lost that hand, the big loser of the night, to go along with Fish. Luis first to act into the muck. Chaos will probably be mucking that as well. Another 10 high. The queens for Fish. He's not going to be limping. The graphics are right. Once again, he makes it 35. I don't know if anybody has anything to call him. As Colin folds. Manny with the 8-4 of diamonds going to be folding. Oh, Bob. Okay, Bob does have a hand to call. Ace, 10 of diamonds. Bob will make the call. Let's see what Big Fish has. Big Fish does not have a good hand as he will fold. So Manny actually made the call with the 8-4 of diamonds on the button. King, King, 3. Let's see if Fish bets. And Fish is going to bet 30. A small bet from Fish, as there's over 100 in the pot. It gets Manny to fold the 8-4. Bob might call. He does have some backdoor draws. Diamond for some. Queen of diamonds would be real fun. No, it's the 7 of clubs. So Bob's probably going to check again, and another small bet from Fish here. So Fish giving Bob a real good price to hit his ace. And it does come runner flush. And it's finally going to go check as Fish will pick up the pot. So the camera should be working here in a bit. So it looks like we got another chat on YouTube. Got Oscar waiting to grow up. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. All right, we do have a replacement on the stream, and I believe that's Chowder. Chowder jumping right into the action. So Chowder into the action, taking seat number 2 there. Chowder sitting next to Chaos. We're pretty close to that 15-minute mark on that camera. And looks like we got a chop here as it folded around to the small blind and they chopped it. Actually, what I would have done if I was Big Fish, I would have just ripped it in there to go after the bonus on the button. But of course, that's easy to That's easy to say when you see everybody's cards.
I want to do. I want to do a 5 10.
Are we doing 5 or 10? We're doing 5 or 10.
So Oscar with the chat in the YouTube chat.
2:15 you should be gone.
Live straddle 10.
Fly out. I'm gonna be in
Looks like we have a live straddle, 10 under the gun
Friday, and then I'll be back.
from
Wisconsin. Oh, see you go.
Oh, yeah, I made it on time.
from Chaos.
What's it in 3 weeks?
I'm up.
2 to 3 weeks.
We'll just try it on the race.
Yeah.
All right, getting graphics to catch up as David, this is his first hand he's playing, comes in for a raise of $30. Fish to his immediate left calls the $30. Chowder with the 9-6. I think he's going to muck it. Chaos, getting a good price, decides to make the call with the 10 high. Big Fish is also on there, defending his button. Hoping they check it to him on the flop. Big Fish flopping open-ended. Chaos flopping top pair. Let's see if Chaos leads out here. There's 124 in the pot. He's going to check. Big Fish should be betting here. This is why you call with the 5-6. And he's only going to bet 20. No, he bets 50. I thought it was just 25. So he's going to bet 50, which is going to bring Chaos to a check raise. So Chaos making it 150 now. And Big Fish might go with this hand, as it is, he has $400 in his stack. No, he just makes the call here. So looking for a 7, looking for a deuce. I think Chaos is just going to put a big bet out here. $400 in the pot, $300 in Big Fish's stack. Action is on Chaos, and Chaos does indeed put out a, it looks like 450, I believe. Yep, Chaos puts enough to put Big Fish all in, which is why I thought Big Fish might have gone all in on the flop, but all right, there we go. We got the camera working again. So, camera working again, so Big Fish will make the fold.
It's like dirty out, Bob. They have like a partner over there, and then there's the one in McAllen.
So I'm not sure if they've explained the small blind game to the new player. I know they explained it to seat 4, but Chowder there in seat 2 is going to be in the small blind here, and it is $10 every time. So I believe it's up to $50 or $60 now. And yes, they are explaining it to Chowder. They are explaining the small blind game to Chowder. They're like, hey, you are eligible for this bonus. So action will be on David under the gun, makes the fold. So now Fish in seat 5. So we got the cameras fixed. Fish with an ace. I think he'll make the $3 call and does. Calling out at the table. It is on New York Bob, 5-7. Seems to be distracted by one of the waitresses. I'm not going to lie, I get distracted by the waitresses as well. All right, Luis raising it up to 15. Chowder with the ace-king. Welcome to the game. He is going to make the raise here. Seems to be a little on the small side, 41, I think. I would have sized it up since I'm going to be out of position. But more importantly, that small blind game is in effect. They just explained it to him, so I'm not sure if he knows he's eligible for that extra $60. He might have sized it up larger. So Luis coming along, as is Chaos with the King 6 offsuit. So Chowder has a $50 or $60 bonus from the small blind game. Let's see what comes out on the flop. Oh, set of 8s for Luis. Set of 8s for Luis. Chowder's going to continue on here. He does have the ace of hearts. Chaos flopping bottom pair. Luis goes all in here, as he only has a $200. No, I'm sorry. Luis has Chowder covered, so Luis is putting Chowder all in here. And Chowder's not going to be able to call. So Luis flopping the set of 8s, not getting a lot of value from it. And Chowder adding the $10 to the button. Looks like Chaos going to be cleaning it up, putting some green chips out there. Yeah, so it's up to 70 now. So small blind game in effect. Chaos. There's a very good chance Chaos is going to be playing this pot, as he has that $70 bonus on it. And if he doesn't get it this hand, the button has to go all the way around for him to get it again. So Chaos is going to be calling very wide here out of the small blind. At least that's my prediction. So 8-4 from Fish should be going into muck. Colin not in seat 6, but his cards did get scanned. Oh, Colin had kings. Colin had kings. So Luis with the ace-king just making it 25. And the reason why I say just making it 25 is because, like I said, Chaos is going to be calling wide here. And Chaos calls with the queen 6. David with some suited connectors comes along. And that's going to bring Fish along with the 8-5. Big Fish also coming in. Fish with the 8-4. Big Fish with the bigger 8. 8-5. Chaos going to be flopping top pair here. And he might just bet pretty big. No, he's going to check. Luis does slow down here. Ace or a 10 for Luis? No, it's a 7. So Chaos going to be putting in the bet. I don't think David could call here. And I think everybody else is going to fold. Luis might not be ready to give up on the ace-king just yet. So let's see.
He said he's watching it, but he hasn't even looked.
He didn't even know which TV was on.
Take it.
I would like to watch the playoffs if it's possible.
Okay, so Luis makes the fold, and Chaos picks up the $70 bonus. So maybe Luis losing the least amount there. I probably would have sized up the ace-king, but at the same time, you would have had to size it up pretty big to get Chaos to fold. He was the first one in. It was 1-3 blinds, and 2 people limped. He made it 25, so even if he makes it 30 or 40 there, Chaos is still calling.
It has a sensor to like the cards, so they got to read the button.
So the players just letting everybody know that the button also has a sensor, and that helps us keep track of the action. So the button does have to be positioned right by the reader as well. Mohawk coming in for the raise, 8-7. Big Fish is down for the night, trying to make some money back, calling with the 8-4. He's dominated by the ace-4 of Luis. Chaos just had queen 6 suited. It worked for him last time. We'll see if it works for him again, as Fish also with the queen 6 will make the call. And we are going 4 ways to a flop, 5 ways to a flop. 10-7-3. Mohawk, the initial raiser, flopping the best hand. Has middle pair with a backdoor straight draw and a backdoor flush draw. We'll bet 55, and that should do the trick. So now David in seat 4 needs to add the $10 to the button. There he is, adding the $10. That is not a straddle. That is a small blind game. And now Fish, who is in the small blind, he's eligible for that bonus. So somebody asking about the stream. We do have a stream game here on Wednesday nights and Friday nights. There is a list that you can sign up on Poker Atlas. You can sign on Poker Atlas. We also have an email if you're interested in any of the stream games. I'm pretty sure we did have issues earlier on with the audio, but I'm pretty sure Seat 6 Colin, it's his first time playing here in the Rio Grande Valley. I don't think he's from here, and he decided to jump on the stream, so we got him on the stream. And there is the Poker Atlas available for that. Big Fish going to be raising and taking it pre-flop, but we do have the information if you want to be on the stream. You can go on Poker Atlas. You can send an email. And there's the email. It's rgvlive@texascardhouse.com. RGV Live. So if you're from the area, or if you're going to be down here in South Texas, you can give us, send us an email there. We do have a stream game here at this location on Wednesday nights and Friday nights. So looks like the action will be on Bob under the gun. Ace 3 of hearts into the muck. Pocket sixes for Chaos will be coming in for a $25 raise as David squeezes the Jack 5 Motown in the muck. Fish isn't at his seat, so his card's getting... No, Fish barely making it on time. So they did put the $10 on the button for Fish. And Fish barely making it on time for his cards. Since the players are paying for time, their hand, they do get dealt in even if they're not in their seats. It's kind of like a tournament. They are paying for their time. There is no rake. Oh, Fish coming in for the 3-bet. Fish runs over here and gets his hand. So this is going to be really good or really bad for him, I think. Takes a chug of his beer. Labels out. And he makes it 130. So Chaos should be making the call here. And Fish is going to have to get creative if he wants to win this hand. 9 high flop. I don't think one bet will shake Chaos. 260 in the pot. See if Chaos checks him flow. So action is on Chaos. He does check, and Fish, like I said, is going to have to get creative if he wants to win this hand. Makes it 150. I was going to say, I don't think that's going to get the job done, but it does. Chaos makes the fold. It was a pretty big bet by Fish there. So Fish making it work. And now we have Big Fish in seat 9 putting on the straddle, and I think there's already 40 on the button there. All right, so action will be on seat 1, Luis. Looks like a $10 under the gun straddle. Mohawk still your big winner. Fish and Big Fish both losing over $1,000. And then Chowder, who just sat down, and now he has on some sort of sunglasses, goggles. I don't know what's going on with Chowder there. All right, so Fish with the 10-8. Pretty sure is going to be calling this. Luis under the gun calling with the 9 high. Fish in the cutoff. Oh, calling with the aces. Probably going to be making it 50 or 60. He is making it 55. I said 50 or 60. He decided right in the middle. 55. Used to be the speed limit last century. Big Fish calling with the King 7 of diamonds. And Fish calling. So Colin picking up a couple of fishes. Going against his aces. Jack, 9, deuce, 2 spades. Fish flopping open-ended Colin with the ace of spades. Colin's going to continue for probably about 100. No, continues for 80. So Big Fish is going to fold. Fish is going to come along with his open-ended draw. So this pot building pretty quickly here as we go to a turn of a jack. That might slow down Colin as the top card pairs on the turn. I still think he's going to bet something. Probably bet 100 now. 330 in the pot. No, Colin does check. And Fish gets another draw to his straight, and he hits it. He immediately bets 225. And the jack on the turn might save Colin. Colin might put him on the jack. He doesn't put him on the straight, but he might put him on the jack here. So this might save Colin. As I said, he had his aces, and 2 people called him. One of them was Big Fish. One of them was regular Fish. So when you have aces and 2 fishes call you, it does get a little dicey, and you can see Colin does make the call. And Colin's going to muck his cards. So back-to-back pots going to the Fish. And now I think that's going to make Big Fish the big loser of the night. Don't forget, ladies, we do have ladies' night here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. Ladies play for free every Friday. Normally, it's $12 an hour to play. There is no rake. There is no chips that come out of the pot. It's $12. That's separate for being in the building. So essentially, it's like a seat rental, but that does not affect anything with the actual chips on the table or the pot. So, ladies, you play for free. That $12 is not charged to you on Fridays. Back to the action we go. And it looks like everybody's limping here. Fish just calling? No, Fish making the raise with the ace-queen. Fish making it 41. Nobody really has anything to call here. Chowder. Need to figure out what those are that he's wearing. I know Chowder actually used to be, and I'm pretty sure he still is, but Chowder is a skateboarder. And he doesn't do it for fun. I mean, he was doing it like professionally for a while. So he is or was a nationally ranked skateboarder. So the skater boy there in seat 2. Let's see here. All right. Got the vpip there. And Fish and Big Fish leading the way. Action on Chowder. Has an ace. All right, so everybody folding. Fish has won 3 straight hands and will limp with the 4-5. And we got Big Fish checking his option. And Luis has left, so his hand gets mugged. So we have Fish versus Big Fish. One on with the 4-5 suited, one on with the 6-4. Put a 4 out there. Now it's going to be spades for Fish. So Fish looks like he's going to win 4 pots in a row. Yeah, Fish winning 4 pots in a row here. So coming up to 10 o'clock, normally we go to about 10 o'clock, but tonight I think we're going a little bit later. We did have some audio difficulties at the beginning for the first hour or so. The audio wasn't working correctly. Had to get a new headset. Run to the Best Buy, as the backup headset also did not work. So if you were joining us early on, we do apologize for the no audio, but as you can hear, that is already corrected. Chaos with the under the gun straddle to 16, and Fish winning 4 straight hands. Gonna try to make it 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. Colin digging into his dinner. Mohawk folding the ace. New York Bob with the ducks. Big Fish, Queen 10 offsuit, playing his butt in. Luis will make the call. Pretty sure Luis is calling because of the small blind. The small blind game is on. And Chaos getting after it with the 9-5 offsuit. Chaos doesn't believe anybody has anything real good, so he's literally trying to steal the pot here, and nobody really has anything that good, so this might work. Bob, the only one with a hand to call, but it is 125, and you can see Bob is still enjoying his dinner. No, Bob not giving up on the ducks just yet. So even though Bob doesn't need to hit his deuce. Oh, is Big Fish? Big Fish stuck for the night. Trying to make it back in 1 pot. He is basically half his stack. It is half his stack. It's 125 out of the 250 stack. Wow, Big Fish calling off half his stack. He's calling off half his stack here with a Queen 10 offsuit. So Bob has a lot of cards to dodge. He had the 9 and the 5 to dodge earlier, but now he has the Queen into 10. So Big Fish, if he catches any of this, he has to go with it. I think it's going to check to Big Fish, and he just might bet here. Is Big Fish going to go for it? I don't know if New York Bob will fold because he has no. Because he only has 125. That's the problem when you call off half your stack here, as Big Fish did. Does Chaos bluff it? No. Yes. Chaos is going to bluff it. Figures nobody has an ace. And with his raise pre-flop, he figures they put him on an ace. So I think Chaos is going to win here with the ace high. No, Bob's still not giving up on the deuces. These guys played a big pot earlier. A 7 or a 4 would be gross. It's a 5. A 5 is even grosser because Chaos has the 9-5, and Bob is not going to like it when he sees the 9-5. Bob is not going to be happy because he got rivered. Yeah. He knows that he lost, but he still hasn't released his cards. So Chaos squeezing out of the straddle and picks up 2 callers, gets there on the river. All right, looks like another 10 on that button, so that's going to take it up to, I believe, $60. Excuse me.
Siento que iba a salir en medio y todo.
Okay, so under the gun, it's going to be David. He was one of the late arrivals here, took over somebody's seat. Has only seen 14 hands, so really hasn't gotten involved much. So New York Bob with the 7-4 offsuit just lost the last hand, and he's going to put that in the muck. Big Fish also in the muck. Luis coming in for the race. Makes it 15. Chowder comes along. Chaos is at least going to be calling.
Yeah, you better raise the fucking neck. Never get a fold the river with it. I got a best determined.
Fish limped under the gun with the king 9. Chaos has an ace. We just saw him play 9-5 offsuit, so I'm pretty sure he's calling, and he does. So Fish does not want to see a 9, as Luis has a better kicker. 5-6 for Chowder. His clubs aren't live, but he does hit the 6. So Chowder with the best hand now, with the pair. Also has a backdoor straight draw. Probably going to go check to Luis, and he's going to put in the continuation bet. Looks to be 60. So a pot-sized bet here from Luis, bet in the pot. And that's going to get Chowder to fold, and everybody else should be folding as well. So Luis just taking down that pot with aggression. Don't forget the YouTube chat is live. I know there's a Facebook chat as well, but I do not have access to that. So if you want access to the chat, it's the YouTube for tonight. So I think there's $80 on that button now, as Chowder added an extra 10. They are playing the small blind game. That is not a strato. That is part of the small blind game. So dealer with the casino dealer with the casino shuffle. Riffle, riffle, box. Riffle, cut. King queen offsuit for Fish coming in. Ace jack of Colin. He does make the raise. Going to be 20. Mohawk will probably fold and does. New York Bob has a suited king. And he's coming along. Big Fish with the ducks. Ace 3 for Luis. And Chaos with the 8 deuce. I'm surprised Chaos didn't call. The small blind game's going on. Maybe he forgot about that. No, he's already cleaning it up. He's going to put in the $10 next, so he's cleaning that up. So we are going to be going past 10, as you can see, probably about 10 or 15 minutes after 10 o'clock. Normally we end the stream at 10. 7-7-5. 2 hearts. Luis with the hearts. Does Big Fish just rip it here? No, he bets out a very small percentage, or he bets up like half his stack here. I think he felt like he had to bet, but his stack size really wasn't working with that. Did New York Bob call? He has some backdoor diamonds. No, he's folding. So Big Fish has a lot of cards to avoid here. And Luis gets it right on the turn, so Big Fish drawn to a 7 or a deuce. He only has 1 out. I think Luis is just going to put them all in here. Big Fish has like $100 left and it's gonna have to fold.
When I made that pre-flop raise, that much
I believe the players are gonna continue playing after the stream is over.
my own. That's the turn.
So there's the aggression factor. David's at the bottom, but he's only seen 16 hands. Chowder has seen 13 hands. You can see everybody else in the 60s. Everybody else has been here since the beginning of the game.
I went to the river and I hit that 5. I'm like, I wonder if I'm good and just missed the flush draw. Yeah, I'm not I wouldn't bet the river like that. I bet the turn. Yeah.
All right.
It was like probably $400 or $500.
So action will be on Colin under the gun.
Yeah, now would be a pot odd size bet.
Making sure. Yep, the scam picked it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mohawk with the king queen, making it 15. Bob with the ace queen, coming in with the 3-bet here, probably to about 50. Bob making it 40.
Still some blinds.
Anybody else have anything to call with? Oh, 6 deuce. You can see David coming along, but he's coming along because of the small blind game. There's $70 or $80 extra that he can win, and he's not in terrible shape against 4 hands. He has 22% equity, so if it was equally split it up, it would be 25 each. So he's not in terrible shape here since nobody has a pocket pair. And now somebody has a pair. Uh-oh. The 2 winners of the night, the 2 big winners of the night, New York Bob and Mohawk, both these guys have won over 1,000 so far tonight. Both of them flopping top pair with a good kicker. New York Bob with the better kicker. So New York Bob only betting 55, so kind of a small bet here, as there was over 160. Mohawk just calling. Does not want to see a queen. So 7 on the turn. I think Mohawk's going to check again. And Bob should be putting some more money into this pot. I think he's going to size it up here. He's going to probably bet like 200, I think. So 270 in the pot. Bob bets 150. And Mohawk immediately calls. Should be interesting here on the river. The 8 of hearts on the river. I think Mohawk's just going to check again. Jack 9 did get there, and Bob will immediately check behind. The Jack 9 got there, so good card for Mohawk on the river as it prevented him from losing more. As New York Bob immediately checked. It went check on the river. The straight got there, which was one of the possible hands that Mohawk could be calling him with. So Bob checked it behind. All right, got a couple more hands to go. We have a couple, two more hands to go. Fish and Big Fish, they're both the vpips over 50%. So hand 68 will be the final hand of the stream. So 2 more hands for tonight. Don't forget, if you still haven't subscribed, this is a different channel. Texas Card House has the main channel, which is TCH Live. That's where we stream on Friday nights. Then they have a secondary channel, which is Texas Card House. So if you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you do so. The reason why there's 2 channels is because there's a lot of tournaments that are run in the Dallas and Houston area. So there's that secondary channel, just in case if multiple tournaments are going on at the same time. That way everybody can have a stream table. And keep in mind, there is 6 locations, so trying to always have at least one of the card houses on one of the streams every day of the week. All right, 3 ways to the flop. Queen 8 queen jack, and sevens. Oh wow. We have open-ended with the sevens, a pair of eights, and a straight draw along with a flush draw for New York Bob. So New York Bob's not going anywhere. He might even raise here. No, just puts in the call. Decides that he's getting a real good price to see the turn here. 10. The 10 will also make a straight for David. Oh, no. Oh, no. So New York Bob with the nuts. David has 314, and he's going to lose all those chips here. Bob will put in a bet. David's all like, I have 2 sevens. How does this guy have a straight as well? And he doesn't have a 7. He has the queen jack for the straight. So I don't see how David gets away from this. David might even go all in, figuring that there's no way that somebody else has a straight because he has 2 sevens in his hand. So a terrible turn for David. He's just going to call, and he can only save money here if a heart comes or if the board pairs. He might make a fold, but it's going to be really hard. He has less than $200 behind. The pot going to the river here is going to be $500. Yeah, it's going to be real hard for him to fold. He's just not going to have enough chips to fold. I don't see a scenario with him folding. And there's a straight on the board here, so now there's 463 in the pot. Bob's obviously putting them all in. And can David make the hero fold here? He does not. Yep. Like I said, it was just real hard for him to get away from that hand with his stack size. So bad luck there for David as he got the worst card on the turn. And he immediately rebuys, so they're definitely playing after this hand. This will be the last hand of the stream, but these guys will definitely be going strong for at least a couple of hours after this stream. All right, under the gun action will be on New York Bob, one of the big winners for tonight. He has the 4-3. That's going to be going in the mug. Big fish. Last hand on stream will be uneventful for him. It's going to fold to Chowder with the suited king. Chowder coming in for a raise. Looks like 13. 16. Pocket nines for David. Does he 3-bet? He just lost that huge pot. He might be a little gun shy here. No, he's not gun shy. He's putting in the raise to 40. Suited ace for Colin. He gets rid of it. Mohawk with the 5-6. Also in the muck. So Chowder will be calling this 3-bet. It is on the small side. So heads up to a flop we go. Suited king versus nines. And it's going to be queen 7. Chowder will probably check here, and David will probably put in a C-bet. Maybe to 30 or 40. Maybe even smaller. He bets 50. And that's going to take it down for David. So he does win the last hand of the stream. We'd like to thank everybody who joined us tonight. We do apologize for the audio problems at the beginning of the stream. But as I said, make sure you do hit that like and subscribe button. Our next stream from the Rio Grande Valley, Texas Card House, will be on Friday. We bump it up to 2-5 this Friday on